Hey everybody, Angie Woods, Dog Psychology 101. We have a special case episode today. Izzy came to us for biting her family, and she was eating really crazy. She wasn't aggressive about her food, per her family, but if you wanted her to stop and slow down and maybe wait to eat a moment, she was a little persnickety and might try to get a little aggressive. So we prepared this educational video just for you. Let's follow Izzy while she learns to eat more slowly. So in this case, the shaking is that she's not calm on the inside. She's waiting for her food, and we've been practicing an exercise about slowing down, and her adrenaline has to go somewhere. So she's not afraid. She's just not acting in the way that she typically would be. This is actually her controlling herself, which is not a bad thing. So then we just wait for this to go away. Because when the body has adrenaline, and we're not allowed to use it in a crazy fashion, the body discharges it by vibrating. And so Izzy's actually a pretty confident dog. She's not fearful. She typically would want to argue with me about food. And so we've had a few repetitions of being up here and slowing down. She can't eat until she slows down. So this is just her self-control. So we have a phrase, whatever you love, you get more of. If I were to feed her in that state, I would be rewarding her adrenaline. And most people get a dog really excited before they feed him. Are you ready to eat? Come on, we get them excited, and then we go and prepare the food and feed them when they're in the crazy mode. And that adds to her problem, or any dog's problem with food. So what I'm gonna do, and don't have to film the whole time either, is I'm gonna just set this down and wait.
A few moments later.
So it's kind of amazing how I've set the food down and just removed it from the front of her and being in her presence, sitting over there. And the vibration has almost come to a stop. So obvious sign, if we had a heart rate monitor on her, we would notice how high her heart rate is right now. And so many times, whether it's food or dealing with another dog around them, they can look calm on the outside and not be calm on the inside. It's pretty common. And so you guys may notice I've got a dumbbell. So that's a 40-pound dumbbell, and she weighs about the same. So it's really to back tie her a little bit. The elevation also creates something that's different for her, so she has to think about being up on a little platform. The weight will keep her from lunging at me or leaving us or going away. It's not meant to tie her up by any means. It's just something to anchor her down temporarily. And so her sessions so far have not been calm. She still wants to really gobble the food up. And so this is where patience is power, because I can't make her body settle down with the adrenaline any faster than it's going to, except for just being neutral. So this is much better. I'm just looking on waiting mode. So she will always love food. We're not going to ever take her love of food away, but she sees food as way too much excitement. And we've done this enough, she tends to think about it. And I just want to slow her down. All right, so I'll offer her. She's a big biter. Yes. Back up. Come on. So the idea here, I actually borrowed this technique from Cesar Millan because it's brilliant. All right? So dogs are predators, they chase. And so the thing that you don't want to do is pull the bowl back, because they're naturally going to chase the bowl and they may bite you in the process. So you see her drooling, classic Pavlov, right? I want her to have a more relaxed feeling before I offer it to her. And when I offer it to her, when she does this big deep bite, which she is still doing, and she's really trying to insert herself into this bowl, I'm going to lift the bowl toward the ceiling, because that raises her chin and requires her to let go of the bowl. You saw she kind of went off the back a little bit, but that's okay. We didn't hurt anything, and it's a little consequence for not listening. And so we'll just let her calm down and try it again. And so she will bite the bowl, which And so when I want her to stop too, I'm actually going to push the bowl into her space. I think it's a good thing for her to be interrupted and even corrected a little bit with the bowl. And we just wait. So you see how she's trying to insert herself into the bowl. Ah, that sigh was wonderful. That's a good sign. I'll offer it. And then she's really trying to eat like a maniac. So, does this take more time? Yes. Patience, persistence. And so, but if we do this enough, she will learn to slow down. That was a better bite. Nope. Nope. And so I want to offer it to her when she's not being pushy. So as you all might imagine, you would not be able to get any sort of calmness feeding her should we release this bowl and put it on the ground. You have no control over it. So some people like to feed the dog from their hands. That can work with some dogs. You need to be careful because you might miss part of your hands. Okay. So this is a great way to do it. The panting has come back. That's a sign of relaxation. You hear the sighs that she's doing? It's really good. And she's an American Bulldog, so she has a Bulldog attitude. She's very independent and quite dominant-minded. So the way her ears are all alert means she's all alert. It means like, give it to me. I want her to relax with her ears back a little bit. And she's kind of worked herself up a little bit. That's what this pant is about now. She looks a little softer. Her job is not to come toward me. If she comes toward me, I'm going to come toward her. Nothing radical. She gets to choose. I mean, she knows where the body of the platform is now. I don't stop bad things from happening. That's not really bad, it's just not comfortable. But if we stop things, she doesn't have a consequence. And so let her learn without getting hurt. So one thing I'm doing now is not only going up because she's so vigorous. I'm actually going in a little bit as well as up at the same time. Okay, see her ears? It's not all alert. I like that. Okay, so I have another little trick that I use with super, super high food drive dogs, especially when they become aggressive about it. So there's some really great diet foods out there. Science Diet makes one called RD. It's actually 27-28% peanut hull, so it has a ton of fiber and not a lot of anything else in it. So I recommend maybe 75% of the food be the RD, and then maybe 25% food being their regular food. Because what I'm looking to do is fill their stomach up to help reduce the drive. If you have cut the food back on a chubby, high drive dog, they are maniacs looking for food all the time, and they are starving. You will never get them to calm down with food until you satiate them. All right? So it's just a little trick. Sometimes regular diet foods are not diet. I've experienced that myself. So it really needs to be something like Science Diet RD or equivalent in order for it to work. But fill their tummies up, and then also add some good nutrition in there.
One eternity later.
And so here, when we spin around, when she waits here, she'll sit automatically. Don't give her a command to sit, because her waiting. So as you go down, she should maintain that position, correct? Mm-hmm. If she doesn't, pause. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now what I'll do is, as I go down, maybe timing a little movement that, so she understands. Okay. Yep. Okay. Good job. Let's try it one more time. Smooth and perfect. Just let it go. Let's watch. We were talking about before, because she has a bit of a flat face, she's going to eat faster than some. What we're looking for is just know she eats, swallows. Eats, swallows. Because in the beginning, it was a mouthful and trying to continually shove food in my mouth that is already full, and she chokes. And wetting it helps as well, as it's less likely to get stuck and clumped up in her throat. And if she is struggling, we can go back to the method like she showed you before, you know, at the center, where we can have a tie back a little bit, and we're doing it down here.
It's doing pretty good.
This is good.
I mean, she's having marked improvement in everything.
Well, she learns.
You're right. She's a smart dog.
She is.
She acts aloof sometimes, and I think that's when she's being too smart.
Well, the intelligence can play against you at times, and we just work through it, and then it, you know, all that drive works in your favor.
Yeah, as long as you utilize it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Start to learn that.
So I've said it forever. Easy dogs are not fun for me, but they're pleasant. They're just easy. I like dogs with a little spice.
Yeah.
Because you better knock it off. Look at you. Oh my God.
My girl.
Oh, look at the genius. I'm so glad I got that on video, girl. That was...